Okay, now this is going to be a bit of an interesting video because I haven't made any Marvel Rivals content yet. But I'm going to be starting with a tier list. It's not exactly an early one, but it's not a late one either, so it won't be perfect. It's just like as of now, I think. So starting off, Adam Warlock. I'm thinking between low B tier, high C tier. I'll put him at C, but that might change. I think he's one of the lower tier strategists, but I think he can do good damage to make up for that. I wouldn't recommend picking him up as a strategist. Now, Black Panther is probably the best dive DPS in the game, maybe second, but I'll put him in A tier because he's just really good, and that magic team up makes him really good. I don't want to waste anyone's time here. Black Widow's a D tier. I don't know what to say to that, to be honest. Now, Hulk, I'm thinking A tier. Like, he's not like... S will be like it's necessary to have like at least 3 of these in your team, one from each role. Hulk, I'm thinking more like... He's not necessary, but he is good. He's definitely really good for brawl teams, so I'll put him in... I guess I'll put him in A tier. Okay. No, Captain America. He's definitely on the lower tier of characters. I'm gonna put him in C tier. He's probably like the worst or second worst tank in the game. He's good at dive though. He'll probably never die. So I'll put him at like C tier. Below Adam Warlock. Now Cloak and Dagger. I want to put like any huge ult strategists up here in S tier. These won't be arranged for now. I'll arrange them all at the end. But I think that Cloak and Dagger is definitely an S tier. We need it. Back to back S tiers. I'm gonna put Strange in S tier as well. Just because I feel you need a shield tank. Like, this is for like the most normal teams. For like, if you're doing a brawl specific one, then obviously Hulk could be S tier. Yeah. Now Groot, I don't think is S tier, but he's very close to it. I'll probably put him at A tier, like high A tier. Yeah. Now Hawkeye, I think, is the best sniper character in the game because he can actually one-shot headshot. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about him. So I'll put him in A tier. Hela, I think, is also a pretty good sniper. I'm gonna say B tier. And yeah, now that I see it, I'm actually gonna put Adam Warlock at B tier because I think he's closer to Hela than he is to Cap, to be honest. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Now, Iron Fist, I think he's really good. I think he's probably better than Panther because I think the tank shredders are a must-have, but like, not like you need at least one in every team, if you know what I mean. Like, they're really good to have, but I don't think he's like as good as Wolverine. But I'll still put him in A tier. Then Iron Man, probably the worst flyer in the game, like a low tier DPS. He's definitely not D tier. He's pretty easy to counter as well. He's probably the easiest flyer to counter. But I'll put him in like C tier, low C tier, just because he's too easy to kill. Now Jeff, I think that Jeff is the worst strategist. He just has... His healing is so limited, and his ult doesn't really do anything for the team. It can get kills and whatever, but it's not like as good as strategist ults, like other strategist ults like Cloak and Dagger and stuff. Loki. I think he's probably A tier, but like really low A tier. Because of his copy ults, he can copy other strategist ults. But in low ranks, I'd say he's B tier, because people don't really know how to use him right. In high ranks, he's definitely A tier though. So I'll put him at like low A tier. Now Luna, I think, is probably better than Cloak and Dagger. So I'll put her at like top of S for now. Yeah. Magic is probably just gonna go right next to Panther. But I'll put Panther above her because he's harder to kill, he's a bit more annoying, and he's better at diving. More health, survivability, you know? He's really good. But I'll put Magic just below Panther. Now Magneto, I'm not sure if he's better than Strange, like, because Strange used to be better, I know that, but like, after the nerfs, he might be better than Strange, because Strange got heavily nerfed. Really heavily nerfed. I know Magneto got nerfed, but it's not as big as Strange. I'll still put him below, just because I'm not sure. And this is why I say it's too early to say it's like a definite tier list. Yeah. I'll put Mantis, like, I feel like her and Luna do basically the same thing, but Luna can just put out more healing. Like, in a faster amount of time. So, it's in a dive comp, Mantis is better, but I say in a brawl comp, Luna's better, and brawl is way better than dive. And in like in a poke comp, they're both kind of equal. Maybe I'd give the edge to Mantis in poke comp just because like she has more damage. That's all I can say. And then Moon Knight, I'd say he's better than Hela, as a DPS, but he's not A tier. Like he's not. Like he's definitely worse than like Hawkeye or something. So I'll put him in B tier. Like probably high B tier. Now Namor. I believe Namor is the best DPS in the game. I would say he's the best DPS in the game right now. He only really has competition, from what I can see, from one other to be the best. And you'll see that later. Now Penny. I take back saying Cap is the worst. He's definitely the second worst, as I said. Penny is probably just low C tier because she's so inconsistent. If she's attacking, she's useless. If she's on defense, she's pretty good. But even on defense, I'd say she's worse than like Hulk, Groot, Magneto, and Strange. Obviously, are the best tanks in the game. Psylocke, she's a good assassin, to be honest. I'm thinking B tier. Probably above Moon Knight. I'm not sure who's better, Moon Knight or Psylocke. But I'd say Psylocke's probably better just because she's really good at diving. And her ult is really easy to get kills with because of its large area. But if they stack up, then it makes her ult pretty much useless. But I would say she's one of the best DPS at like holding the point, even though she's a dive character. But I'll put her at top of the B tier anyways. Punisher. I feel like Punisher's really good. He's good at cancelling like air characters like Iron Man, as we saw. I would say he might be better than Hawkeye. I feel like that's close, but I'll put them right next to each other. Now Rocket, I feel, is underrated as hell. I feel like he's definitely an A tier. Maybe not on the level of like his DPS, because I feel like he's just not. Like, actually, I think his ult is actually really underrated, to be honest. He can fit well in lots of teams. I'll put him above Loki, but like in A tier, but like there. Now Wanda, I feel, is the worst character in the game, so I'm just gonna put her at D tier. In low rank she's good because no one's really that good, but in high rank she just gets shut down way too easily. Spider-Man. I feel like he's up there for best dive character, but he's not like that good. So I'm gonna put him below both Hawkeye and Punisher. Just because I don't think he's like that good. He could also be B tier. Like very top of B tier. Yeah, give me a second now. Alright, I'm back. So I have a few things I want to change. I'm going to say Loki's better than Rocket, just because I feel like they both have consistent healing, but Rocket's is a bit better. But Loki's copy ult is just way better than the damage amplifier, even though the damage amplifier is pretty good. And then I also think that Psylocke is better than Spider-Man because you don't need to learn a whole ass combo to be really good with her. No, hello, Jeff. Squirrel Girl. She's not very skilled, but she is decent. She's better than Penny, I think, just because she's more consistent, but I still don't think she's great. She's also kind of situational. Also, I think Iron Man is better than Cap as well, just because I feel like he does his role a bit better. Because Cap won't really die, but he's not really going to be helping his team out as much. You can't really carry with Cap. If you want to, like, carry your team as a tank, don't pick up Cap. I recommend picking up either Hulk, Thor, as we have down here. I also think you can carry with Thor. Who else? Thing is another one you can carry with. I'll be rating them later. Anyways, Star-Lord's pretty decent, I feel. Yeah, as I was saying, Star-Lord's pretty decent, I feel. Like, I'd say he's probably top of B tier. For now, at least. Storm, not as good as Groot, I wouldn't say, at doing their job, but definitely the best flyer in the game. And can control areas pretty well. I feel like that should be flyers' jobs, like controlling areas. Iron Man just can't do that as well without his ult, whereas Storm can kind of do it really well. So that's why Storm is in, like, top of A tier. Thor, I feel, is probably better than Star-Lord at doing their job. Like, really good with brawl comps, and I feel like brawl comps are pretty decent. So I'm gonna put them there. Now Venom, another tank. Good diver, and I feel like he should probably just be around there with the other divers. Probably the most essential character to have in a dive comp, so that's why I'm putting him above them. Except maybe Panther. And, but, as I said, dive comps aren't that great. Now, here's the other character that I think is up there for, like, top DPS alongside Namor. This is the main, here's the main one I haven't really organized yet, because I'm not really sure. Now Bucky and Namor, probably interchangeable, but I would just give the edge to Namor. I think Namor's a little bit better. Wolverine, I think he's the better tank buster. So, oh, what the hell? I think he's the better tank buster, definitely over Iron Fist, so I'm gonna put him there, just above Iron Fist. Mr. Fantastic. He's kind of the jack of all trades, but at the same time he's really not, because he can do everything, but he can't do anything the best. So I'm gonna put him down there, bottom of C. Now Invisible Woman, I feel, is probably the best strategist in the game at the moment. And that's why I'm just putting them in S tier. They're really good. That's all I can kind of say. Now, Human Torch, I would say, is top of B tier. Because he's a flyer. He's not as good as Storm. Definitely not. But he's definitely better than Iron Man, because he's really good at controlling areas with his, like, fire pillars? I don't know. The fire lines, basically. And I also like how you can make it 4 with the lines. Now, Thing. I'd say Thing and Hulk are interchangeable because they're the best tanks. These two should both be used in brawl comps if you are going to use a brawl team. But I'd give the edge just to Thing because I feel like he's a little bit easier to use. He's easier to pick up. That's That's really all. And yeah, I feel like this is probably the best tier list I could make. I feel like this is a pretty good tier list. Now, I am going to arrange the S tier. Now, I feel like Invisible Woman should be top there. I feel like Strange and Magneto should be better. And then Bucky and Namor should be above Cloak and Dagger. Okay, so this is my tier list for season 1.5, I'd say. I'll kind of explain the tiers now. D is just like I don't recommend picking up. Like, you shouldn't be using these characters outside of quick play. They're just the worst characters to pick up in the game. C is also just, they're not really worth picking up, but you could probably get away with using them in low ranks. Or in Captain America's case, if you're just really good at the game. B tier is kind of just like the characters that are worth using, but they won't like hugely dominate unless you're good. A tier is characters that, if you're good with them, you could be the carry on your team basically every game. And then S tier is just kind of the essential characters. Like, you should have at least 3 of these on your team. You should have one of the strategists, one of the tanks, and then one of the DPS. So yeah, that is my tier list.